So here's a quick question. What if I told you one of the best budget portrait lens for Sony APS-C camera isn't made by Sony or Sigma? Meet Viltrox 56mm f1.7, a compact, lightweight autofocus prime lens that costs just $180 and it's available for Sony E mount, Fujifilm X mount and Nikon Z mount. And somehow it's really good lens. When you will unbox it, you'll get the manuals, the lens and a fiber cloth pouch. Out of the box, Viltrox 56mm f1.7 feels deceptively simple. It's made of high quality polycarbonate which keep it ultralight and just under 170 grams. And despite being all plastic, nothing about it feels cheap. There is no aperture ring here, everything controlled electronically, and also won't find image stabilization or weather sealing. But at this price, it's all about priorities, right? And Viltrox choose the right one. So here you'll get a metal lens mount and also a USB-C port. USB-C port is for firmware update built right into the lens, right? So you can just connect the lens with your computer and then transfer the firmware after downloading it, because when you connect this with your computer it will show up as a USB drive. So just transfer the firmware and that's it. The lens firmware will be updated. You will get a clip type lens cap and also you will get a cute little lens hood, and it's very usable under the sunlight or whenever you are using the lens outdoor. So now let's talk about the specification. This is a 56mm lens, that is 84mm equivalent of full frame, and the aperture is 1.7. The filter thread is 52mm, that is a very common filter thread, right? And the minimum focusing distance is 55 cm. They have used STM stepping motor for autofocusing, and the weight of this lens is 170 grams. Basically, it's a tight, fast portrait prime lens with excellent subject separation, potential ideal for interviews, talking head, and street portraits. Let's talk about the autofocus. This thing is powered by an STM stepping motor, not quite Sony G Master level, but it's shockingly snappy and accurate, especially for the price. Whether I'm walking towards the lens, stepping out of the frame, or using touch to focus, the autofocus holds up. I've used this lens on my FX30 and with my Sony ZV-E10 and it performed tremendously well. On my FX30, the eye tracking worked perfectly well, but there is a catch. If you're using the onboard mic of your camera while you are shooting video using this lens, you might hear a faint noise during rapid focus pose, but most people will use external mic. This won't be an issue for most of the people. Now let's talk about the performance. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. If you're shooting handheld, especially with a camera like Sony FX30, which doesn't have stellar IPS, this lens is not the easiest to stabilize. There is no optical image stabilization built in, and with 84mm equivalent field of view, small shakes get exaggerated. But just throw it on a gimbal or a tripod and this thing shines. Crisp shot, generous background blur, excellent subject isolation. It's a proper portrait tool. Sharpness. This is the part that surprised me the most. Wide open at f1.7, it's already tack sharp in the center and even in the corner holds up surprisingly well. Most budget lenses tend to fall apart at wide open aperture, not for this one. If you increase the aperture from f1.7 to 2.2 or 2.8, you will get very sharp image from center to the corner. The bokehs are smooth, not overly creamy like Sigma 56mm f1.4, but clean, natural, and a little bit modern. Some user might find the background or the bokeh is slightly busy, but honestly, it just makes your subject pop more. Colors lean slightly to the cooler side, which can be easily corrected using Lightroom or whatever color grading software you're using. But dynamic range, contrast, and rendering, all very impressive for a lens this small and this cheap. Okay, let's talk about the imperfections, because there are few imperfections here in this lens too. The first one is the flare control is average if you shoot towards the sun. Expect ghosting. The second one is chromatic aberration is present at f1.7 in high contrast scene, but it's manageable. Even you'll see few vignetting if you are using the lens at f1.7, so you can just correct it in post or just use the lens accepting the vignetting factor. But honestly, for me, none of these are deal breakers, especially not at this price point. So here is the deal. The Viltrox 56mm f1.7 is kind of a unicorn. It's ultra compact, it's optically sharp, and you can buy it for $180 from Amazon or B&H. It's not perfect, no stabilization, no aperturing, and average flare control, but it nails the essential like sharp images, fast autofocus, and a beautiful portrait focal length. If you're someone who is using a Sony APS-C camera like FX30, A6700, 6400, or ZV-E10, whatever, and you want a lightweight, reliable portrait lens that doesn't cost $400, this might be the sleeper lens of the year. That is it from me. Let me know in the comment section below if you have tried this lens or you are still rocking the Sigma 56mm f1.4. And hey, if this helped, give me a like and don't forget to subscribe for more gear reviews and filmmaking tools that doesn't break the bank. Catch you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.